Yes, guys, so this is the vantage point from which we can see the bridge. That is the towers that are supporting the high span section of the bridge. And that building, of course, is the old abandoned hotel. And behind the hotel, you can see the bridge ramp. So where we are is just outside of this Hyatt Hotel. The Hyatt Hotel, like I said, is still under construction. This is what it looks like on the billboard outside of the construction site. And like I said, it's located here on Red Road. And Red Road continues for several miles, but in 2 miles from this point, you get to Heroes Highway. And the bridge ramp, or the access road to the bridge, also reaches Heroes Highway in 2 miles. But this is what the Hyatt Hotel looks like on the first day of April 2025. Still a lot of work to be done on the exterior, but I'm assuming that since we've been here the last time, work is going on the interior of the building, and eventually, once they complete the exterior, we'll be able to see progress on the exterior. But this is what the neighborhood is becoming. If you were to step back and assess how far this neighborhood has come in the last year, there is significant progress. The red road, this road, has been completed. All of the street lights have been added. Right, they've completed this road. It's now 7:30 in the morning, and it's becoming busy as the rush hour traffic picks up. They've now added the bridge. Right, you can see in the distance the bridge. And let me see if I can zoom in a little closer. There are workers actually. Don't know if you can see that in this view, but there are workers on the bridge, morning, the bridge ramp. This neighborhood that once only had a few of these telemarketing companies. This one is Qualphone, and the Amazonia Mall, which is straight ahead, now also will have the Hyatt Hotel, which is this building. Of course, the Texila American University and a number of warehouse companies. So this is going to become quite a commercial center in a few years, just based on the amount of development that has happened in the last year. And of course, we can't forget the National Stadium, the National Cricket Stadium, that's located less than a mile from here, in fact, about half a mile in that direction, behind the Amazonia Mall. So there's significant changes here at Providence. And this is not even the residential part of it. So there are a number of new residential neighborhoods. We've passed some of them. I'm not going to visit today, but we've passed some of these new residential neighborhoods that are being built here in Providence. We've looked at the, was it Richmondville compound that was being built by a Guyanese American named, what is it, Basdeo, who's involved in some kind of criminal activity in New York. And that is happening on this road further east of where we are located. We've seen that in previous videos. If you want to see Richmondville housing development, you can go back to a previous video. Hopefully somebody is going to rescue this abandoned hotel. I understand it's being sold. This is, of course, the Princess Hotel and Casino, now also co-branded with Ramada. So it's a Ramada Hotel and Princess Casino. And then the bridge. So this is going to become quite an important uh, business center, economic center, with a number of hotels and a stadium and a mall. And that is beginning to emerge over the last year because of the amount of money that is being spent on this road and the bridge which exits or crosses the river at this point. But this is what is happening here at Providence, and I can't wait to see what it looks like once the bridge has been completed, which of course we're going to bring you every development on at least a monthly basis going forward, so that you can see how the bridge is completed, how the traffic patterns change, and how it affects this local neighborhood in Providence. That's the mall, the entrance to the Amazonia Mall. I think they're also doing some renovation works. I haven't really been back to see what progress they've made on the renovation works. Let's just take a quick look at it because we're just in the neighborhood. In passing, it might be a good idea to see how far they've come. So the last time we were here, I think it's about 3 or 4 months ago, they were doing some expansion, building some new retail space on the ground floor. And I just wanted to see if they've completed that renovation and expansion work, just because we're in the neighborhood. This is the new Starbucks, the new Starbucks outlet that was opened here. I think we did a tour of that Starbucks the last time we did a tour of Starbucks, but since then they've opened all the locations in Guyana. This was the first location of Starbucks, but now there are several more, notably one at Turkine, I believe. All right, so the last time we were here, they were building out this new retail space on the ground floor opposite the dining area. So there's a long line of dining establishments, and they were building out this retail space. It seems as if they're still working on it. So the mall is undergoing some modest expansion here. We're going to come back and take a look at it once it's completed. But it seems as if they're adding more retail space on the ground floor. That's the Amazonia Mall. That's Payless brand and Home Store. These are their anchor stores. And I think there is the Caribbean Cinemas, which is another anchor tenant. And Massey, of course, Massey stores they occupy the entrance. They've also, I think in the last year, added parking spaces. So they've added another um, another what 50 or so parking spaces since the last time we were here. I don't know if they own any more of the land beyond this parking lot, but I understand they are planning expansion. Amazonia Mall is planning further expansion. That's what it looks like. Looking back at the mall, and of course, straight ahead, that's the Princess Hotel and Casino. And here's another vantage point from which we can see the bridge. This bridge is going to dominate the neighborhood, of course, one of the largest structures in Guyana, and certainly the largest one in this neck of the woods. We can't wait to see what it looks like. I understand it's going to be completed in 2026, but I also understand the president has added 100 or 200 new workers to the project to accelerate its completion. And we're looking forward to see what it looks like when it is completed. That's the bridge and how it changes traffic in this neck of the woods. But that's what's happening here, guys. If you want to see more content, just like and subscribe in the comments below. Tell me what you think about the progress in Providence. All right, that is the pile of material for road construction. This is the staging area, I guess, from which all of the trucks depart. Yes, guys, tell me when you think the bridge is going to be completed based on the rate of progress being made now. Right, tell me whether you think they will complete it before 2026 or in 2026, as I think it will be. And tell me what you think about Providence. Some people have asked me to do a tour of the housing developments. There are a number of housing divisions being built, and I haven't really gone to look at those because there are privacy concerns when you're going to look at private housing. And so I normally have to make plans. Morning. Thanks. Gonna have to make plans before you go into private communities because, of course, there are privacy concerns. But we will get to explore some of those neighborhoods eventually. That is the new housing developments in Providence and beyond. And then you'll be able to give me your assessment of what you think. Because a number of people have left these shores, decades ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and are in a position to compare what the neighborhoods look like now compared to what they were 50 years ago when they departed. But that's it, guys. This is what's happening in this neck of the woods. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing economy in the world, Guyana. Later.